Good evening to you, friends. Greg and Liz here with you to start off this week, and we're going to start with the WAFBI team tonight. When you hear the word truancy, you probably think of kids who are absent from school, but a local superintendent says many kids in his district are marked truant for simply being late to school.
Our chief investigator, Chris Nakamoto, dove into the absenteeism numbers across the school districts in our area and has more on one leader's push to change the definition of truancy in Louisiana. Good evening, Chris.
Liz and Greg. Baton Rouge School Superintendent Lamont Cole leads one of the largest school districts in the state. In our area, it's also one of the school districts with the most chronic absences, as defined by the Department of Education. Tonight, Cole says he wants to change how truancy records are kept to get a clearer picture of who's actually not coming to school. It's the second full week of school in Baton Rouge, and Superintendent Lamont Cole is already discussing a priority to tackle this year. It involves truancy. The state of Louisiana defines truancy as a student who has 5 unexcused absences or 5 unexcused tardies in a semester. It's a definition Cole says does not accurately reflect who is in school and who is not.
If I'm in school 180 days and I've been there 165, that's a pretty good percentage of being in school. While you may have need to be in school the other 15 days, things happen in kids' lives. Someone gets the flu, someone gets COVID again, a family member passes away, you go out of town to watch someone play and you get trapped in another city or state. And what ends up happening is when you come back, you don't offer an excuse for why you were gone.
When students don't bring an excuse, their absences or tardies are counted against them. 5 or more, and a student is truant. The WAFBI team found the most recent state data shows East Baton Rouge schools have one of the highest truancy rates, with 55% of enrolled students labeled truant as defined by the state. Our review of state records showed a staggering 24,875 students in East Baton Rouge schools were reported truant in the 2023-2024 school year. Capitol High and Estruma High topping that list, where 85% of students were absent or tardy more than 5 times without an excuse.
Initially, when it came to me, I saw our truancy numbers, and I said, we have 40,000 students in our school system. And if we're talking about truancy in the way that I understand, that means over 20,000 of our students are absent from school almost every day. I just don't believe over 20,000 students are absent.
Cole did not have the actual numbers of how many kids labeled truant were actually in school, but he wants to see the state change the way truancy is defined to get a clearer picture of who is actually not coming to school.
And what are those actual percentages of kids who are not in school? And then once we identify that, we need to give it a different name. Maybe that's truant B, truant C, or truant A, right?
The Baton Rouge Area Foundation says in 2024, the city of Baton Rouge had more murders per capita than New Orleans, Chicago, Baltimore, New York, and almost every other medium and large city in the nation. In 2023, the organization commissioned a study which looked at men convicted of murder between the ages of 18 to 29. Their study found 70% of them dropped out of high school. Despite challenges in Baton Rouge, the WAFBI team found some school districts are not having the same problem. Ascension logged a 20% truancy rate during that same time frame. West Baton Rouge, 26%. West Feliciana, 26%. Zachary, 36%. Livingston, 37%. And Central, 41%. By comparison, the only other school districts with higher truancy rates than Baton Rouge were Baker and Point Capee, with nearly 65% of the students in those districts labeled truant. Both of those districts are much smaller than East Baton Rouge, and only a few schools make up their total numbers.
As we sit and have those conversations locally and then as well as with the state, we start thinking about what that looks like. When we hear truancy and we start thinking about what we have traditionally understood the word to mean, we think about kids not in school. But when we start digging deeper into the nuances of it, we realize that some kids may be in school but have been labeled truant.
The Louisiana Department of Education told the I-Team it's working with districts to identify obstacles keeping kids out of class. We also reached out to Ascension, which had the lowest truancy rate in our area, to see what their district thinks about a change to how truancy is calculated. Superintendent Dr. Edith Walker said it's important to continue using multiple measures to give everyone a full picture of student engagement. You can read their statements and see how your district stacks up on WAFB.com. For the WAFB I-Team, I'm Chris Nakamoto. Greg, Liz?
Chris, thank you. It was a